Good morning, everybody. I am Roberto Cicutto, the president of La Biennale di Venezia. Just a few seconds for the authorities to take place. Allow me to introduce the curator of this 18th International Architecture Exhibition, Leslie Locco. Welcome, Leslie.
Non possiamo che iniziare.
We can start this ceremony by remembering what is happening in a part of our country, in Emilia-Romagna. The exhibition, the architecture exhibition, is focused on the consequences of climate change, and this is an additional laboratory of the present, not only of the future. I would like all of us to express our solidarity to the hit regions, and our solidarity should go to people in difficulty in this moment.
Oggi si apre.
We officially inaugurate the International Architecture Exhibition today. Many of you have already seen it. The decision to choose a curator coming from an existing laboratory, the African continent, the youngest in the world, a curator who has already faced elsewhere crises the world is facing today, seemed to me a correct approach. And I think that our international audience and the role of cultural diplomacy the La Biennale di Venezia has to perform can certainly face these themes through architecture, which is turning into a form of art. From the reactions I have heard, the most important effect of this exhibition is a desire to analyze in depth things we do not know so well, as, for example, the African continent we talk of every day. We know its beauty and its peculiarities, but we are now listening to voices we had never heard before. I conclude by passing the floor to Leslie Locco, but allow me to greet the authorities present today, the Minister for Culture, San Giuliano, the President of the Regional Authority, Luca Zaia, the Mayor and Vice President of La Biennale di Venezia, Luigi Brugnaro, ministers and authorities. We are waiting for Senator Roberto Mistri, who chairs the Culture Committee of the Senate of the Italian Republic. I thank you all for being here. Leslie, you have the floor. Thank you, President.
It hardly seems possible that the last day of the pre-opening is here. At one level, the last 15 months have disappeared in a flash, and at another, it feels as though the Biennale is now my life. That, like the carnival that begins here tonight, there is no life beyond it. So many journalists have asked what I hope or expect the audience to take away or understand or even learn from it. But as we, my curatorial assistants and I, said at the very outset, this exhibition is not didactic. It does not aim to teach anyone anything. In the central pavilion, there is a short quote on one of the walls. One can offer without giving. It is also a form of power. Power is a difficult topic to wield, grasp, resist, and endure. This exhibition is not an exercise in wielding power. It is a passionate exploration of what power means at the spatial, material, formal, and conceptual levels that make up our world. Our world in all its messy, painful, glorious, and joyful ways. Thank you everyone who has walked this road with us, but most of all, thank you to the participants who dared to bring their full, authentic and audacious selves. Grazie mille.
Ora è il momento più importante.
It is now the moment connecting the past with the present, recognizing how much in the past was done for the present and the future. We award the Golden Lion for a Lifetime Achievement. It is with honor that I give this Golden Lion for a Lifetime Achievement to Baba Demas Nwoko. For the admiration I have for his art and his age, we will assign him the lion down in the public. And if he wants to say something, we are going to listen to him. So we are joining him among the public.
Colpo di scena, il Leone d'Oro alla carriera.
The Golden Lion for a Lifetime Achievement is joining us on stage, and we thank him for this, for his generosity.
Francesca. Benvenuto maestro, grazie ancora.
Welcome, welcome, master. Welcome, maestro. We are glad to have you here.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Diamo il microfono.
Yes, please.
Touch it.
Thank you very much.
Vai a prendere il leone casomai che non rimanga in mano al presidente, mettiti qua davanti a così ti vede. Metti qua. Mettiti pure. Yes, yeah. Sorry? Thank you.
Mike?
You have the mic.
You have the,
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
you have the microphone.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm still flabbergasted, you know. But I'm very happy, and I thank everybody that made this possible for me to be here. I've decided to just mention that it looks as if this is a tour of destiny. In 1961, in France, I was at the end of my study of theater design. I attended a workshop of European opera theater directors, actors, actresses, singers, and all that. And I was hired to design the stage for the performance of that year. That was Mozart's L'Enlèvement au Sérail. I remember that when the curtain opened and my stage design was lit, the audience stood and clapped for 3 minutes, just for the stage alone. Because I turned the direction of stage design for opera onto a new direction entirely. Instead of frontal, I gave it a 3-dimensional view. And the press in Europe said that that was the first time anybody was giving the music of Mozart a physical form for the first time by interpreting it exactly graphically. After that, the directors who came from Italy offered me a job to come to design in Venice. They did not only want me to design, but they want me to sing also, because I was singing while I was preparing the stage. And they also thought that I was a very good singer. And they said that I must come while I'm designing the stage here, I should also sing Othello for them. That was in 1961. I turned down the offer. I told them that I was going home because there was nothing of this nature in my home country, Nigeria, that I would rather go and pioneer the theater in Nigeria, and I would build something that I will invite them from here to see. Now, it is like a journey of destiny that this year I'm now invited to Venice to receive this great honor for my work. Well, it includes the theater because they said lifetime achievement, but mostly on the year of architecture, which, again, I'm grateful to the curator, Leslie Loko, and a benefactor, David Aja, for funding the exhibition, a whole pavilion of my work in this year's Biennale. So it is like my first journey to France was made possible by the French people, and then the show of what I achieved entirely in my country was made possible by the Italian people. So I thank the Italian people, especially the city of Venice.
Mentre Baba Demas si accomoda e prende le fotografie,
While Baba Dema goes back to his place, Leslie Loco will read the motivation for this award. Uno
National Architecture exhibition is an approach to architecture as an expanded field of endeavors, encompassing both the material and immaterial worlds, a space in which ideas are as important as artifacts, particularly in the service of what is yet to come. With all of its emphasis on the future, however, it seems entirely fitting that the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement should be awarded to someone whose material works span 70 years, but whose immaterial legacy, approach, ideas, ethos, is still in the process of being evaluated, understood, and celebrated. Baba, which is a Nigerian honorific title, is everything all at once. An architect, sculptor, designer, writer, set designer, critic, and historian. When pushed, he refers to himself as an artist-designer, which speaks to the polyglot nature of his talents and to the rather narrow interpretation of the word architect that has arguably kept his name out of the annals. The son of a traditional Obi ruler, he was born in 1935 in southern Nigeria. His early forays into painting, drawing, and carving at secondary school in Benin City pushed him to apply for a place to study architecture at the Nigerian College of Arts, Science, and Technology in Zaria. He was a founder member of the Zaria Art Society, also known as the Zaria Rebels, who were interested in the blend of modernity and African aesthetics as an authentic language to reflect the spirit of political independence growing in the 1940s and 1950s. This profound desire to blend and synthesize rather than sweep away has characterized Nwoko's work for over 5 decades. He was one of the first Nigerian makers of space and form to critique Nigeria's reliance on the West for imported materials and goods, as well as ideas, and has remained committed to using local resources. Although relatively few, Nwoko's buildings in Nigeria fulfill 2 critical roles. They are forerunners of the sustainable, resource-mindful, and culturally authentic forms of expression now sweeping across the African continent and the globe, and they point towards the future, which is no mean achievement for someone whose work is still largely unknown, even at home. In 1977, writing about his first commission to build the complex for the Dominican Institute in Ibadan, the architectural critic Noel Moffat wrote, "Here, under a tropical sun, architecture and sculpture combine in a way which only Gaudí, perhaps, amongst architects, has been able to do convincingly." It gives me enormous pride to have awarded the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement to Baba Demas Nwoko, an architect of both the 20th and 21st centuries, and to encourage all visitors to the 18th Architecture Exhibition to visit the small but perfectly formed and articulated display of his work in the Sterling Pavilion in the Giardini, alongside the Book Pavilion project of the Laboratory of the Future. Thank you, Baba.
Entriamo nel merito della cerimonia.
And we get into the core of the ceremony with the awards of the different prizes of this 18th International Architecture Exhibition. I ask Leslie Loco to introduce the members of our international jury. Ippolito
Nora Akawi. Izabela Wieczorek. Tavengwa. And Thelma Golden, who is not in Venice, she had to return to New York. Welcome, the jury.
Abbiamo 3 menzioni speciali.
We have 3 special mentions to the participants of the international exhibition, The Laboratory of the Future. I would invite Nora Akawi to read the motivation. Special mention to Tandy Levinson. Leslie will then award the special mention. Per una pratica di ricerca militante che materializza storie di spazi, di lotte per la terra, estrazione e liberazione attraverso il mezzo della grafite e della scrittura speculativa come strumenti di progettazione. Leslie is giving the mention.
Sure. I made some notes. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm blown away. A biennale like this is not produced in isolation. It is the product of a constellation of workers, artists, musicians, performers, writers, thinkers, spatial practitioners, who dare to imagine a world otherwise and then to do the difficult and joyous work of building it, as Leslie's brilliant curatorial work in the Biennale celebrates. It is an enormous honor to be among you all, and it is up to us now to continue this dialogue through our collective work, its resonances and its frictions. Thank you, Leslie, for galvanizing and electrifying us here in Venice, and I look forward to continuing this work with you all.
Durante le foto procediamo.
We go on while they take pictures, we go on with the second mention. Special mention to Heinrich Eils Wolf of Wolf Architect. Tavengwa will read the motivation.
Reflects a collaborative and multimodal design practice, as well as a nuanced and imaginative approach to resources, research, and representation.
Please, if you please, if you wanted to say.
Thank you very much. This is a beautiful garden to be part of. It's a garden that it requires nurturing, watering, an embedded kind of response to this beautiful garden that has been set up by Leslie. We are just honored to be blooming here with everybody. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to say thank you very much. We have never understood this forum as a competition. It makes sense for us as a kind of a library of provocations and propositions. And we graciously accept this recognition in a way to all of our colleagues and everybody who's around us who's helped us in achieving this. But I do think that the enduring legacy of this moment will be the human connections that were either made or strengthened by this occasion. And we are deeply thankful for Leslie Loco for setting the terms that made this possible, because it's been exceptional. Thank you.
Menzione speciale
Special mention for the national participation. Nora Akawi will read the motivation. Special mention to Great Britain, Sevra Davis, Commissioner, Yedan Ali, Menisha Kelly, and Joseph Andre.
Celebrating the potency of everyday rituals as forms of resistance and spatial practices in diasporic communities.
Hi everyone, I'm Sevra Davis from the British Council and Commissioner of the British Pavilion. It is such an honor to be standing here. I want to say thank you to President Chikuto and to the jury and to Leslie for this visionary biennale. It is your drive for experimentation and imagination that propelled us in this pavilion. And Dancing Before the Moon is rich with creativity and diversity, but ultimately it's about joy and love, and that is not talked about enough, and we wanted to bring that to architecture and to this exhibition. I want to say a few thank yous to everyone that's been part of the project and production team. You know who you are, but most of all, I want to say thanks to Jaden Ali and Joseph Henry and Manisha Kelly and Sumitra Upham, the curators. Sumitra, we miss you, and we're sad you're not here. And to all of the amazing artists who've contributed. So Yusuf Agbo Ola and Matt Collins and Madav Kadau and Shawanda Corbett and Sandra Poulsen. Thank you very much.
Hi. Our speeches are a little bit longer, so bear with us. But a thank you to Sevra, the British Council, Leslie, the jury, and the Biennale. Our title is Dancing Before the Moon, and we thought it may be an appropriate moment to reflect on James Baldwin's guiding quote. There is a reason, after all, that some people wish to colonize the moon and others dance before it as an ancient friend. In drafting this statement, James is framing through his own lens the terms of his relationship to the world around him, drawing for his metaphoric telescope to reframe what it is to live in and among others, other people, other objects, other ways of being. It's a statement that places colonizing and dancing at opposite ends of the spectrum, and in doing so asks one to choose a side where the winner is obvious. The constraining act of colonizing allows for no dance, at least not in the truest sense of the word, where one is free and uninhibited. And who on earth would wish that upon others, and who on earth would wish that upon themselves? It's a statement that leaves us with a feeling, a sentiment, a tone, which speaks to a care for oneself, one's neighbors, ancient friends, he says, and by extension, our friends of today, and our friends of the future, and all those that dance in the enduring light and shadow of the moon. It's by no mistake that James's statement opens with, "There is a reason," because reason is our collective quest, and the reason is simple: to dance, to be free, to express, to negotiate, to celebrate our bodies, to be playful, to resonate with the ground, to resonate with the air, to honor our customs and to honor our rituals. And it is the sentiments embodied in this quotation that, when applied to architecture, makes it such a radical yet honest, and an arguable guiding North Star. If the spaces we create can foster, support, and give permission to such ritual acts, then what a wonderful world we would be living in. On this voyage, there have been so many collaborators beyond our wonderful commissioners, the British Council, the GA Projects and Sound Device production teams, that I think Manisha will thank in full. And this speech is on behalf of all of the curators, but it would be remiss of me not to say my personal thanks to Joe, Manisha, and Sumitra. Manisha, for your enduring patience and work with the artists. Sumitra, for making us incredibly clear and concise. And Joe, for keeping it all together. It's been a journey, and one that will no doubt continue into the evening as we dance with you all before the moon.
Thank you. Many hands and minds made this pavilion, and we would like to thank our artists and collaborators, Yusuf Agbo-Ola, Madhav Kadau, Sandra Pawson, Matt Collins, and Shwanda Corbett, and also Saki Banar, Gordon Massa, Oscar Wellpeace, Fred Wave, Adenike Oke, Makan Singh, Harkin Singh, Jason Wallace, and Issy Nanabien. They believed in our vision, and they have become friends in the process. To my co-curators, Jaden, Joseph, and Sumitra, you are visionaries, and it's been the greatest pleasure to work with you. Sumitra, we wish you could be standing up here with us. She brought baby Arka into the world 5 weeks ago, and we couldn't be more proud of her. I'd also just like to say a personal note. I'd like to thank my dad, who I lost 6 months ago. This pavilion represents everything he was, his open and generous heart and spirit. He taught us that there is so much to learn from other people and other cultures, and I hope that's what the jury took away from experiencing the pavilion. Thank you.
Anche I presidenti o soprattutto i
I made a mistake, as the presidents do sometimes. I have skipped one of the mentions, and I have to quote another special mention. I invite Senator Marti, Senator Roberto Marti, the President of the Culture Committee of the Senate of the Republic. Izabela Wieczorek will read the motivation, and I invite here on stage Semi Baloggi, the winner of this special mention.
For a three-part installation that interrogates the past, present, and future of the Democratic Republic of Congo through an excavation of colonial architectural archives.
Thank you so much. I believe that architecture, it's about home. It's about a place where we can feel safe. So I would like this moment to dedicate all this moment and this award to all the people who are losing their land in Congo and all over the world. Because of massive extractions and capitalism. And of course, I mean, the film that I'm showing is about the forest. So as we are on this equatorial line, there are these forests in Amazonia, in Congo, and Indonesia. So talking about the climate crisis, we need to think our relationship to the environment. And let's make this world our home again. Thank you.
Siamo alla premiazione.
We are now at the assignment of the Silver Lion for a promising young participant in the international exhibition, The Laboratory of the Future. The motivation will be read by Izabela Wieczorek, and the award goes to Olalekan Jayfus, Silver Lion. I invite here on stage the Mayor of Venice, Luigi Brugnaro, Vice President of La Biennale di Venezia, to give the award to the winner.
A world-building practice that expands public perspectives and imaginations, offering visions of a decolonized and decarbonized future.
This is an incredible honor, and I'm deeply, deeply thankful and grateful for this. And of course, to Leslie, you have really put together an incredible convening of deeply important work. And so I also want to thank all the other participants. The work is incredible. I'm still trying to digest it and get through everything, but thank you.
Golden Lion for the best participant in the international exhibition, The Laboratory of the Future. I invite here on stage the president of the Veneto region, Luca Zaia, to give the prize. The motivation will be read by the president of the jury, Ippolito Pestellini. The winner of the Golden Lion for the best participant in the international exhibition, The Laboratory of the Future, is Dar Alessandro Petti and Sandy Hilal.
Standing commitment to deep political engagement with architectural and learning practices of decolonization in Palestine and in Europe.
All right, what a difficult moment. Let me start with love. I mean, the first is that I want to express my gratitude and how much I'm lucky that I've been working with Sandy for so many years. And we have a special relation with Venice. We actually met here as students. We had our first exhibition, La Biennale di Venezia, 2003, and today we are even receiving an award in an edition that will be a transformative edition. I had the feeling that what is going to happen, what already happened with wonderful people, already changed many things. So I'm very grateful, actually, to receive that acknowledgement. Thank you to the jury. Thank you to Leslie. And I will just say, of course, a few words, because our practice is inherently collaborative. And we have to thank many individuals. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the municipality of Carlentini in Sicily that took seriously and courageously our challenging questions. How to reuse colonial fascist architecture? How do the material traces of the fascist past today acquire different meanings in the context of migration? And should this heritage be demolished or profaned? I feel incredibly blessed by the friendship and intellectual exchange I share with Emilio Distretti, with whom I co-founded Difficult Heritage Summer School in Borgorizia. It has also, of course, been absolutely a pleasure to work with the curator, Matteo Lucchetti, the project coordinator, Sara Pellegrini, and the producer, Hossam Absalem, Orizzontale, Zapoi, and Pietro Onofri. A special thank, of course, goes to the generous support received by the Italian Council, La Lodge in Brussels, the Berlin Biennial for Contemporary Art, the Madre Museum in Napoli, and the municipality in Albissola Marina. Finally, I would also like to acknowledge my 10 years spent in Palestine, where the call for decolonization means a lot to me. It also gave me the courage to ask, what does it mean to decolonize today in Europe? The project that you will see at the Arsenale tried to give form to this urgent and necessary question. Thank you.
Well, I am actually honored to be in Venice today, and I see among my professors, my teachers, that I have been studying here, and it's really incredible to be, we just turned 50, so everybody was asking us, how do you feel? And we were saying, we are in a celebration mood. Not 20 years since our first exhibition in Venice, we turned 50 years in a great way, we are in love, we have 2 amazing daughters, and with all this happiness, we also understand that architects contribute heavily in building colonial architecture. We have today the urgency to actually employ all what we have to be able to create cracks in this colonial architecture. And permits me a little bit, I would like to take a bit of a more time just to remind myself and you of a story I had in Venice, in Rome, sorry. I was walking in 2000 in Rome, and got a bus, and I was with an old Italian lady. I speak Italian very well, I study in Italy. So she asked me if we can cross the bridge together. And also, it was a moment I was missing so much home. So each time I am in the bus, I will find an old lady or man. I sit nearby them because they made me feel home. And somehow I says, of course, let's cross the bridge together. And when we were crossing the bridge together, I asked her what she was worried about. And she says, I am afraid of extracomunitari. And I told her, Signora, but I am extracomunitari. And she was in the middle of the bridge with me. And there was a moment of panic. And she looked at me and she says, you look different. So in somehow, and you are not like them. So who are them and who we are? And this project in Venice Biennale in this moment is taking a facade of fascist architecture that is still announcing every day who is them and who is us. We create crack in that facade, we sit in the middle, we eat together, and we discuss how, as architects today, how as researchers, how as humans, how as people that we love each other, we can crack that kind of architecture for us not to be them and us, but to be all and to be in order for us to be equal.
Last but not least.
Ultimo e certamente non meno importante.
Siamo al Leone d'Oro per la miglior
Golden Lion for the best national participation. I invite the Minister of Culture, Gennaro San Giuliano, to come on stage to give the award. The motivation will be read by Ippolito Pestellini. Golden Lion for the best national participation goes to Brazil. Here to get the awards, we have Gabriela De Matos and Paolo Tavares, the curators, Felipe Isola, the Chief Project Officer for the Fundação Bienal de São Paulo, representing the Commissioner. Gabriela De Matos and Paolo Tavares, come on stage.
For a
Sentiamo la motivazione.
For a research exhibition and architectural intervention that center the philosophies and imaginaries of indigenous and black populations towards modes of reparation.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Unexpected. Yeah, there's many people that we need to thank for making this pavilion. Yes. But we'd like to thank more especially all indigenous folks, nations, and Afro-Brazilian people that have shared their knowledge with us and that made this pavilion possible. Thank you so much. We'd like really to dedicate this prize to them because, as Davico Penawa would say, they are the ones who are holding the earth together. They are the ones who are holding the sky so the sky don't fall on us. They are the ones who are really caring for planet Earth. So this prize is dedicated to them. Thank you. The pavilion comes in a very special moment in the history of Brazil. I bet you guys have been following what has been happening in that country. We are at a moment of reconstruction. We are at a moment of reparation. We are in a moment of restitution. And the pavilion is really about this. It's about reparation, restitution, reconstruction. It's about recognizing other forms of knowledge, other forms of architecture, which, as we say in the pavilion, became central to confront the global climate crisis and can teach us another form of relationship with the earth. The pavilion is called Earth, Terra. We invite the public to step on the earth, to feel it, to smell it. And as you step on the earth, you are invited to recognize Brazil as an ancestral and diasporic territory. As you step the earth, you are also invited to think yourselves as inhabitants of our common and only planet, of our shared dwelling with human and non-human communities.
Yes.
Thank you, Paulo. It was great to work with you. I'm
Thank
very
you, Gabi.
happy.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing journey.
I would like to thank all of these communities in Portuguese because we are connected with this language. So, muito obrigada. Povos indígenas Macu, Tucano, Aruaque, Guarani, Tecelãs do Alacá, Terreiro da Casa Branca, Dai Rodrigues, Juliana Vicente, Thierry Ussou e comunidade da Casa da Tia Ciata, no Rio de Janeiro. Thank you.
Finally, just one more minute. It feels really special and we are deeply honored to receive this prize today, not only because of the moment that we are passing through our history, but also because of this remarkable biennial curated by Leslie Loco. Yes. Thank you so much. We could not have a better moment.
I would invite Ministro San Giuliano, he wants to say something at the end of this awarding ceremony of the 18th International Architecture Exhibition. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday was the moment for official speeches. I have to congratulate the awarded teams. I want to thank the jury for the work they have done. I really appreciated yesterday Leslie's work, an excellent work. I am not an architect, I'm not an expert, but I really liked your exhibition a lot, and I think it is important to pay attention to a strategic continent like Africa. This is all I have to say. Go and visit the Biennale. I will go back there to have a better look at the exhibition. Thank you. Well, thank you all. Enjoy Venice and enjoy la Biennale.